tape 3 with Hilda Halpern. Okay, you were in the middle of discussing your move from your home to the ghetto. How did they tell you to do that, and how did you go?
Well, as I just told you before, we had to leave our home, and we had to go in a designated area, and we had a friend, and so it was anybody. I mean, we had to merge. We had to, wherever was a little house, a kitchen space, everybody, for the night they put down some, I don't know what they had, straw or blankets, whatever, and we were sleeping on the floor, and they were very nice. Everybody was very nice to each other, and we were very bitter, of course. We didn't have our home, and yes, we were by a friend, in a friend's house. And some other people were also coming. It was, I would say, 1 block, 2 blocks here, and over there a few blocks. They start to concentrate us. And it was very good the way my mother raised me, that I knew things how to do, you know. We thought when we were taken away, we'd be able to take food with us and noodles. So my mother say, you know, I didn't have enough time at home to make noodles. I have very little. Would you make some, you know? And I knew how to make it. People admire me, a young girl, you know. What about Worcester cheese, you know? And I made the noodles there. I made for some other people, and we cooked together. We were together, and you know, we still had some money. It was, I don't remember, we couldn't get the money out. We had some in the bank, you know. My mother was saving some money for me when I have to get married. I don't think the banks gave out the money anymore. So we had to get along already on very, very little. There was no, we had to leave everything behind. We couldn't move with a house of the clothing and everything. We couldn't take along, just minimum, just very few things. Yes, and I remember when it was there was a neighbor there, and when it was the ghetto, we were on this side, lived on this side, and crossed. There were some people who were some women who were school friends for my mother. So they told my mother she should bring over a lot of things to hide by them. After the war, things will get better. They're gonna give it back. No? They never gave it back. No? They start to become very cruel. You know, when they passed by. You know, when they passed by, my mother was looking out from the window, and they say, well, I can come on your side. I can walk on your side, but you cannot walk on my side. Those were very good friends. We lived there together for many, many years. You know, my mother was born and raised in that street. And they were friends, because it wasn't anti-Semitism before that. And that was hurting, you know. And then they told, don't bother. We're not going to give you back the things. They told us. Okay. So it affected us in many, many ways, which is hard to remember everything, you know, but points what is still in me, you know, what I cannot forget. I was just yesterday by a doctor, and he was giving me some therapy because I have some problem with my hip. And they trying to maneuver my body. I should need surgery. You know. And there was a doctor, and it just came out on me. I told him, I asked him if he started to ask me about concentration camp, if I was, and so on and so on. And then I started to tell him, and I was just going, you know. I had so much to tell. And I knew I just have limited time. He's not going to stay with me there. So I started to tell him about concentration camp and how many things, you know, I seen miracles also. I seen miracles when we arrived to Auschwitz, and they separated us from the parents. The girls, they were on one side, and the parents, men were on one side, different rows, and women who had small children, and they were with the women, and those who carried the child or was pregnant or had little children, they were sending on the other side. And as I was going in this row, we were going five in a row, I think. I don't remember, it was later 5 in a row, and they were counting us. And we were stationed already, or maybe it was only 3, you know, so it was probably 5. We were walking, and I see my mother just this much far in that row. So I think, why does my mother have to go there and I have to go here? I can go with my mother. I didn't understand what it means. So it came an SS man with a bayonet, and he just happened to be, he was a young boy, and he didn't want you to die. So he told me in German, "Du bist so jung, geh nicht dort," because I didn't know what gonna happen to them. So so that was a miracle. I mean, I had to probably stay alive to build a new life and have family, and you know, you should have more and more to go. So I told him many miracles what happened and how I believe. My belief, my religious upbringing was helping me to go through all this, because my father's last word was, he said, "What can I tell you? It's coming hard times." He said, "But remember, it was a God in this field. He will help." With that word, we parted. Now we all had to jump out from the wagons, and then I seen him going. He was so religious that he didn't want to take off his beard. He still believed that God will help. It was already when in the ghetto, when we were already getting ready, they told us like 2 o'clock they're coming, we should be ready to go. And my father still had the beard, and I was worried. I say, they're soon gonna come take off your beard. And he didn't want, he say, I have time. God still can help. And then he went away, he went there in a little shack. It was like, you know, they call it, where they kept wood and all kind of things, you know, a storage room. And he started to cut his beard. And then they start to come, and they were talking about, you know, loudspeaker, that everybody should come and line up. And I was running, my father was there. I say, if he's not gonna go, they will shoot him. So I went there and I told him. I seen him with a half beard. It affected me terribly. And then later I seen him, he finished his beard with the hope that they're not gonna kill him and they're gonna he won't make it in time. So I seen him walking. He just had little mustache, and I had to go there, see him going. The same thing. Next, I seen my mother. And then when we arrived, we were walking and walking and walking. Miles and miles and miles they made us to walk. It was hot. We arrived like 4 in the morning, and it was already hot sun. It must have been noontime already till they put us someplace off. And yeah. When we were walking, there was like big, people were burning. It was burning, bunches like this. And it was burning. We could feel flesh and bone. You could see bone. And we started to cry. Say, some of these bones are. There were some who were more informed what's going to be, And they say, well, this is probably where they take us, in the gas chamber, And finally, and so you can imagine how we felt, And then finally we were stationed in they had big barracks. And it wasn't beds, it was just like bunk beds, but like half of this room, it was bed. It was just board, And we had to. There was our sleeping area, and there was our eating. We couldn't go out whenever we wanted. And of course, I was very finicky, and I couldn't. Some people could grab the food. They gave us in one. How is called a bowl. They didn't give us spoons. They gave us, and everybody started to. What was? It was just a little red, some cabbage, and they put in this stuff, Young girls shouldn't get their period. We wouldn't be able to handle it there. So it was terrible. It had an odor, terrible taste. And people started to grab one from the other, and I couldn't do it. And there was a lady, a young lady. She see me going around. I was looking, where do I go? I mean, you didn't go with your friends because it was just the way it was selected. We were going nice and so on. And so I was just walking and thinking, where I should. I was looking, maybe I see somebody I know or somebody a kinder person. Sure enough, there was a young lady. She was maybe 32 years old, something like that. And she asked me how old I am. I told her. And then she say, come up, I be your mother. I will help you to survive, she say, because I have a son in your age. Maybe somebody will help him to survive. And she was really like a mother to me. She put me by the wall. I shouldn't be squashed, And she took away a lot of times from them before anybody was taking from it. And I should nourish myself. I should have, how much could we have? Maybe a half a cup, if we could, if they let us long enough, so we had a few schlucks, And she was nice, very nice to me. She protected me. At the same time, I was nice to her also. It was certain times when it was one time she had temperature, and Well, we didn't have regular clothing, you know. They threw us something. It was too small, we couldn't complain. If it was too big, we couldn't complain. I just happened to get a big dress, you know. And I mean, I was a little heavier, but I was never too heavy. And it was long. It had little, you know, things. And I tore off from that dress a piece, and I went to. I ran out, and there was a washroom. We were not allowed to go only in designated in certain times when they took us from the barrack. But I ran out, and I didn't care what happened to me. And I made it wet, and I put her on her forehead, you know, and she got better. Because if she wouldn't go out in the morning and the evening when they count, and they find her in the bed, you know, on the deck, I should call it, they would shoot her. So I feared her for her life. And, you know, and she did certain things when it happened to me, you know. I also had what fever, so she rescued, you know, her life, you know. And so I had somebody to protect me. It was very interesting that when we arrived, then later they were taking us to work. I was in Auschwitz there. Yes, when we arrived to Auschwitz, they cut our hair, you know, completely naked. And there were some girls that were complaining, you know, but as the religion girls, when they get married, they cut their hair, they wear a wig. I mean, this is also a wig. And so they were talking in Hungarian, the Germans shouldn't understand. Of course, they were punished over that also. And so they were telling, I was going to wear a wig. They would cut my hair if I would get married in Munkács. But not anymore. I say, if they could do this for me, I say, and I told them that, no, I wouldn't say so. I say, if I can do it for Hitler, I will do it for my husband. And if I ever get out from here, then I will cut my hair. You know? So when they selected to work, you know, same thing. Some girls were in other barracks. They heard this barrack, they're gonna select. They ran here in the morning when they counted, you know. I counted 5 were staying in a row. So they should be taken to work. From 1,000 people, they took 200 people. And I never went no place. I met some cousins, some friends. I met in between, you know. This time I was in Auschwitz, and he told me I had a cousin, my father's first cousin, and she could go through. She was with her daughters, and you know, she was very, very pretty and made up, and with a blonde wig. And she had the daughters with her, and another cousin with her. And she just went through. She was maybe 2 years younger than my mother. But my mother didn't dress up, you know. She knew what the situation, so she put some practical things on that she should have it. I mean, we didn't know what's waiting for us there. So she wore a black kerchief, you know, and she looked much older than she was. So she told me that she was in another area. I mean, another barrack, numbered barracks. So she told me, come here, we are together, and we will be together. I say, I believe in God. I say, whatever is meant for me, it's going to be. And I don't go no place. And sure enough, that morning they came to select, and I had some cousins, and they were two sisters and another cousin, a younger one, and they ran over to us. And we were talking how it's going to be the selection. The whole night we were talking. How it's going to be if they're going to take this row, then they're going to take away one sister from the other. So if the younger cousin is going to stay in the front, she was a very, very little shrimpy, very fragile. They might not take the row. So I told them, I'm not afraid. I have nobody. I mean, I cherish you, my cousins, second cousins, but I'm not afraid. What is meant for me, it's going to be. And I stayed in the front. So if they take this row, so I'm just alone. I have nothing to worry about it, wherever others will be like. And if they take this row, I'm going to save their life. Okay, sure enough, Angela came, and I was going through the rows and looking, this row goes, this goes. And it came to me, and I had red cheeks. I was, I looked very good because I was well nourished from home. I lost weight, but I looked healthy. And mostly I look very, very good when I don't feel so good. So this is my nature. And I looked very good, and he gave me 2 slaps that he broke my teeth. He was knocking from this side and from this side. And when he was knocking from this side, he had something sharp. It must be a ring or something. So he broke some teeth out for me here. And I couldn't say a word. But this much he said, "Du bist ein junges Mädchen, gesundes junges Mädchen." Die ganze Reihe geht. That means the whole row is going. So I saved my cousins. And they were by me. When they already selected the 200, they separated us, and again we were walking. So finally it was already coming dark. So they tell us to go on the grass, sleep here. They didn't say what's gonna be, if they come for us, what they're gonna do with us, nothing. So again, it was this discussion. The girls start to say, yes, they put us here, they're going to come, they're going to shoot us. And I say, no, they're not going to shoot us. I was so much belief. That's where religion comes in. That I say, you'll see, because I seen there it was the fence, it was all around fence, and it was a big door. They opened, and it was barbed wire, and if somebody would touch it, it would burn right away. There was a neighbor of ours, where we lived in Holucaust. She just wasn't strong enough, and she couldn't take it, and she went on the wall, and she burned. And they say, look at her, she still believes. I say, you see that this door will open, and we will go out, and he will take us to her. That's how strong I was in my beliefs. So they were laughing about me. I didn't care. I wanted to give them a little bit from my belief. I always told them to make, to feel good. I helped them to feel good. But they laughed about it, so I didn't care. I had my say, my religious say, Sure enough. Soon it became light. We seen 2 or 3 buses arrived. They counted us up. We went up on the buses, and they took us away.
Out of Auschwitz.
Out of Auschwitz. At least we were out of Auschwitz. So I don't remember how much we were traveled with the
Can we
buses.
back up just a little bit? Okay?
Yes.
Just to back up. And we're going to back all the way up back into the ghetto.
Yes.
Okay? And
It's going to be soon. Okay. So.
and what I'd like to ask you is to describe the life in the ghetto.